Once again, this is not a video on anything monetary wise angles. I will get to that. There's just a few things that have been on my mind that I want to get out there, and I will continue to go along with all the money printing and all the stuff, all the stimulus things they're doing, everything they're doing out there to devalue the dollars you and I have and hold, bank accounts, 401ks, IRAs. Hyperinflation, in my opinion, is right around the corner, and I will address that, just not in this video. Just want to get that out there. It'll be coming. Anyways, this is about what's going on in society. It seems like there's no black and white. As a matter of fact, there really is no black and white. As far as that, I'm saying there's nothing in black, nothing white. Nothing that's strictly this way, nothing that's strictly that way. There's no lines. Everything's gray. Gray matters. They're confusing and running the systems to try to confuse and make people not to know really what's right, wrong, good or evil, which way you should go. I mean, hot or cold. Like I said, black or white. That's sort of like how you're training your dog. You don't have anything as a question. It's black or white. It's this or that. Same with children. This or that. It's this way or that way. There's no exceptions to it. That's the best way, and that's the way to make things clear as a bell. But as far as I'm seeing society, America and other countries are getting rid of that structure, getting rid of that foundation, getting rid of that balance, just erasing it. I got some examples here. Years ago, I don't know how many, if I'm just thinking back, probably 10 years ago, 8 years ago, something like that. The city of St. Paul and the state of Minnesota banned toy guns within St. Paul. Not real guns. Banned toy guns. Why? Well, they really had no explanation that I thought was acceptable, but they banned toy guns. What does that do? That tells children who might be into the whole cowboy thing, or the whole their parents shoot, trap, they shoot clay pigeons, or they hunt. They have a parent that hunts, and the kid wants to emulate that or pretend to do that. So he wants to have toy guns to be like mom and dad, or to be like someone they've seen on TV, whether that's the Lone Ranger or it's someone from Western, or whatever the case may be. They want to have that thing that's a toy, and then they know it's a toy. If it's a cap gun, if it's a squirt gun, water gun they call it, it's a toy. So once they know this is a toy, it looks similar to this over here, but this one's a toy. This one can't do any harm, cannot hurt. You get rid of that, and you tell them it's dangerous. And when the real ones that are really dangerous are dangerous, and they come across those, well, and they know that the toys aren't dangerous, but they were told they were, they get a little confused. Well, these ones here, they said were dangerous, and they're not, because I played with them, or my friend down the street or across the street from me played with them, and they're allowed to do with their cap guns or their squirt guns. They're not dangerous, but the teachers told me that, or my parents told me that, or this other person told me that. They're dangerous. So are these other ones really dangerous? Because these ones aren't. So you start confusion there. That's just one example. And then the whole deal with what they're doing with a male versus female, a boy versus a girl. They're, in my opinion, they're getting rid of that. They're starting to say that you can pick your own sex. You can choose your own sex. And there's some stories I've read that say that you can't choose a child's sex until they're old enough to decide what they feel like. Well, one of them is a boy and one of them is a girl. They have different parts and different functions as a human. That's black and white. You get rid of that. There's gray matter and there's confusion. There's no more structure. Same with what is good, what is bad, as far as any sort of videos, movies, language. That's sort of getting cloudy. It's sort of getting confusing. And and you're looking at it from a child standpoint, it has to be even more confusing because they have had no structure really. All they are getting now for a foundation is this confusing gray matter structure with no black and white, no rules, no lines that they can or cannot cross. That's what they're getting now. So what's going to happen as they develop? It's just going to get worse. So on this note, I've been thinking about this a little bit. This is going to be a short video, I promise. But there's this band I've listened to for years. Their name is Tool. And I always loved these lyrics that they had in one of their songs. The song is called Jerk Off. And I don't think it has one thing here or there that has to do with really anything besides the title is what it is. But probably talking about a person or, a business or something. I don't know. I'm not in the mind of the artist. But anyways, there was these lines they had in the song, in this chorus, and I'll just repeat them to you, that I've always found interesting. It says, consequences dictate our course of action. It doesn't matter what's right. It's only wrong if you get caught. If consequences dictate my course of action, I should play God and just shoot you myself. So what does that say to me? It says, well, there's no right or wrong. That's what those lyrics are telling me. So if consequences dictate my course of action, and it doesn't matter what's right, it's only wrong if you get caught. If consequences dictate my course of action, I should play God and just shoot you myself. So it's not right or wrong unless I get caught. But if everything's confused, everything's gray, there's no black or white, how do I know if what I am doing or what I'm going to pursue or what I'm going to be involved in is right or wrong? It seems like there is no right or wrong unless someone above me or that thinks that has any sort of control over me tells me it's right or wrong. And then I would get caught. And then I'd be punished or let off the hook, even though I had no idea if it was right or wrong until someone else decided it was right or wrong. So that's how the no black and white thing, it can be horrible. I just going through this stuff just reminded me of those lyrics, and I think it's ever so fitting. And this was from the early '90s when that song came out. But so if everyone's confused, they're easier to control. If the whole society is confused about everything, about sexuality, about things that are right, things that are wrong, it's all blurred. Movies, as far as language, as far as what you should be able to do or cannot do, if it's all blurred, that's when people get confused. And once people are confused, they're easier to control. And they're easier to control, especially on the sense of they don't know what is right or what is wrong unless they're told by someone of authority, like a government. So if the government tells them what is right or wrong, then the government will be able to control what happens to them in any and every circumstance. So they'll say what is good, what is bad, what is right, what is wrong. You don't know. The person down the road doesn't know unless you're told what you have done or are doing is right and wrong, or right or wrong. Because it's all a blur. It's all gray matter. There's no black, there's no white, there's no rules. That's what is happening now to society. And I just got to come out there and say it's got to come to an end. Because there's nothing worse than building something like a life or a family or even more on something that doesn't have a foundation to it, or it's a really, really bad way to start. Anyways, as always, thanks for watching. Stay vigilant. Protect yourself, protect your family, protect your health, and protect your wealth.